Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? Have you ever had a dream so big that it made you question if you were truly capable of achieving it? Or maybe you've been waiting for the perfect moment to take action but felt like it's never coming. What if I told you that the key to making that dream a reality is not waiting, but acting right now, even when you're unsure? Stick around because today we're going to talk about how to take that first step, even with fear, and start building the life you've always dreamed of. Ready to get started? Let's dive in. You have the power to change your life in an instant, but it starts with one simple decision: to act as if you already belong at the top. Picture this. When you walk into a room, do you shrink back in doubt or stand tall with the confidence that you're exactly where you're meant to be? It's all about how you perceive yourself and the actions you take. When you start acting as if fear has no hold on you, your mind begins to shift. You speak differently, you walk with purpose, and you start attracting respect and opportunities. This is the transformation from doubting to doing. And it's not just a shift in mindset, it's a shift in your entire being. Take the story of Richard Branson. He started Virgin Records with no formal training in music or business, and many people doubted his ability to succeed. But he acted as if he already belonged in the world of high-stakes business. He believed in his vision, took risks, and moved boldly forward, even when others said he was crazy. That boldness paid off, and today, Richard Branson is a name synonymous with success. He didn't wait for the perfect moment to feel ready. He acted with the confidence that success was already within his reach. Now, think about your life. How many times have you waited for the right time to take action? The truth is, if you keep waiting for that moment of certainty, you'll be waiting forever. The key is to move now. Take action as if you fear nothing. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but that's where the magic happens. When you act boldly, the world starts to respond. You'll find doors opening that you never thought possible. You are capable of more than you realize, and the only thing standing in your way is the fear that you create in your own mind. So let go of the doubt. Stand tall, act with confidence, and know that the life you're meant to live is waiting for you. Take that first step, because when you act as if you fear nothing, you unlock the mindset that attracts success and abundance. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a box, trapped by your own limitations? What if I told you those limitations are not real? They're just beliefs, beliefs that you can change. The truth is, every barrier you perceive in your life is something your mind has created. It's not a wall that's been built in the world around you. It's a wall built in your thoughts. The moment you understand that, everything begins to shift. Life itself transforms when you realize that limitations are not facts. They're simply beliefs, and beliefs are not permanent. You can change them. Take Thomas Edison, for example. Many people told him that his idea for the electric light bulb was impossible. He faced countless failures in his experiments, but did that stop him? No. Every failed attempt was simply a lesson for him. He didn't view his failures as obstacles, he saw them as stepping stones. When others might have quit, Edison rose, acting with the belief that success was just one step away. His ability to see beyond the limitations to keep pushing forward changed the world forever. Now think about your own life. How often do you limit yourself because of fear, doubt, or past failures? The reality is, you're capable of so much more than you give yourself credit for. Every time you face a challenge, you have two choices: retreat in fear or rise to the occasion with faith in yourself. The person who chooses to rise, who faces adversity with courage, discovers that the walls and ceilings they once thought were unbreakable were actually just illusions. You are more powerful than you realize. When you act with faith in your own abilities, you start to break down the barriers that once seemed insurmountable. Your thoughts create your reality. And when you begin to dominate your thoughts, you start to dominate your world. Don't let fear control your destiny. Let your vision of success drive you forward. And when you do that, you'll find that nothing can stand in your way. Remember, the walls you see before you are only shadows. They will vanish the moment you shine the light of courageous thought upon them. Believe in yourself, take bold action, and watch as the world begins to open up to you. The only true limitation you face is the one you place on yourself. We all face challenges in life, don't we? Moments when things seem impossible, when the obstacles in front of us feel too big to overcome. But what if I told you that the obstacles you see are not the real challenge? The real challenge is how you respond to them. You have the power to turn every setback into a stepping stone, and the key to doing that lies in your mindset. Let me tell you the story of Alexander Graham Bell. He had a vision to transmit the human voice over long distances, but when he first began his experiments, people laughed at him. They told him it was impossible, that his idea was a waste of time. Yet, despite countless failures and setbacks, Bell refused to give up. With each failed attempt, he didn't see a reason to quit. He saw a reason to improve. Each mistake became a lesson, and each failure was just a signpost pointing him closer to success. Finally, his persistence paid off, and the invention of the telephone forever changed the world. His story reminds us that setbacks are not signs of failure, they're opportunities for growth. Now, think about your own life. How many times have you felt like giving up after facing a setback? Maybe it was a failed project, a tough rejection, or something that just didn't go as planned. But here's the truth. Every setback is not a dead end. It's a chance to learn, adapt, and come back stronger. The most successful people didn't get to where they are by avoiding failure. They got there by embracing it. They kept going, even when things seemed impossible. So when life knocks you down, don't stay down. Get up and keep moving forward. The road to success is not a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, and unexpected detours. But every time you rise after a fall, you grow stronger, wiser, and more determined to reach your goal. Remember, setbacks are only temporary, and they will only hold you back if you let them. The choice is yours. Let setbacks defeat you, or use them as fuel to propel you toward your dreams. Believe in yourself, take action, and turn every setback into your next big breakthrough. The best is yet to come, but only if you keep going. Do you know what the difference is between those who achieve greatness and those who remain stuck? It's not talent, it's not luck, it's bold action. The most successful people don't wait for the perfect moment to act. They create the perfect moment by taking action, even when things are uncertain, uncomfortable, or downright scary. Take Steve Jobs, for example. He didn't wait for the world to hand him success. Instead, he acted on his bold vision. When he was kicked out of Apple, the company he co-founded, many people thought his career was over. But Steve didn't sit and wallow in doubt. He took bold action by starting Next and Pixar, eventually changing the tech and animation industries forever. If he had waited for the perfect conditions or approval from others, we wouldn't be talking about Steve Jobs today. The key to success isn't waiting until everything is aligned or until you feel ready. You don't need to feel completely confident to move forward. In fact, confidence comes from action, not from waiting. Every step you take, even if it feels small or imperfect, brings you closer to your goal. Think about your own life. How often have you waited for things to be just right before you made a move? Maybe you've put off starting a project or making a decision because you felt unsure or uncertain. The truth is, if you keep waiting for the stars to align, you might end up waiting forever. There's no perfect time to begin. The perfect time is now. It's easy to let fear and doubt hold you back. But here's the thing. Fear is not the enemy. It's a signal that you are on the edge of growth. When you feel fear, it means you're about to step into something new, something that will push you closer to your potential. So don't retreat in fear. Move forward in faith. Take the leap, even if you don't know exactly what will happen. The act of moving forward with courage is what will ultimately create your success. So, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Don't hold back. Take bold action now, and you'll find that the world starts to meet you halfway. When you act with confidence and courage, you don't just achieve your goals. You redefine what's possible for yourself. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly overcome obstacles, while others get stuck in the same cycle of fear and self-doubt? The answer is simple. They understand that failure is not the end. It's just a stepping stone to success. And once you shift your mindset, you'll see failure for what it truly is, a lesson in disguise, a vital part of your journey toward greatness. Look at the story of Michael Jordan. We all know him as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, But what many don't know is that he was cut from his high school basketball team. Can you imagine how devastating that must have been for him? But instead of giving up, he used that rejection as fuel. He didn't let it define him. Instead, he worked harder, pushed further, and kept going despite the setbacks. Jordan turned failure into the driving force that helped him achieve legendary success. His story teaches us that failure is not a reflection of our potential. It's just part of the process. Now think about your own life. How often have you feared failure so much that you didn't even try? Maybe you've had dreams or ideas that you've hesitated to pursue because you're worried about falling short or making mistakes. The truth is, every time you avoid failure, you're also avoiding growth. Failure isn't something to be feared. It's an opportunity to learn and improve. It's a chance to reassess, re-strategize, and come back stronger than before. The most successful people didn't get to where they are by avoiding failure. They got there by embracing it. They faced setbacks head on, learned from them, and used that knowledge to rise higher. The only true failure in life is not trying at all. So the next time you face a challenge or experience a setback, don't view it as a failure. See it as an opportunity to grow, learn, and become better. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it to fuel your journey towards success. When you realize that failure is not the end, but the beginning of something greater, you'll find the courage to push through anything. Keep going, because your greatest success might be waiting just beyond your biggest failure. Have you ever felt trapped by the fear of failure, waiting for the perfect moment to take action? Let me tell you a secret. There is no perfect moment. The key to success is not waiting for conditions to align or for fear to disappear. It's about taking action despite the fear. Every successful person you admire didn't wait for the perfect time to begin. They acted, and they acted boldly. Let's take a look at the story of Elon Musk. When he started SpaceX, many people said he was crazy. Sending rockets to space, building electric cars, and changing the energy industry all seemed impossible. But Musk didn't wait for approval or reassurance. He took action, even when the odds seemed stacked against him. And today, SpaceX is revolutionizing space travel, Tesla is changing the way we think about energy, and Musk is now one of the most influential innovators in the world. Why? Because he didn't wait. He didn't sit on the sidelines, waiting for the perfect moment to feel ready. Instead, he understood that action creates momentum. Every step he took, even when filled with uncertainty, brought him closer to his goal. And that's the lesson we all need to learn. Movement creates clarity. Now, think about your own life. How many dreams have you put on hold because you were waiting for the right time? Maybe you've wanted to start a business, travel the world, or write a book, but you've been too afraid to take that first step. You tell yourself you're not ready, that you need more knowledge or more resources. The truth is, you'll never feel completely ready. And that's okay. The key is to start anyway. Don't let fear dictate your future. The magic happens when you act, even when it feels uncomfortable. Every action, no matter how small, pushes you forward. So take that first step today, whether it's sending that email, making that phone call, or just taking a moment to visualize your success. The road to success isn't paved with certainty, it's paved with action. Remember, you don't need the perfect moment to begin. You just need to start. Because once you do, everything starts to fall into place. Your dreams, your goals, and your future, they're all waiting for you to take that first bold step. So, what are you waiting for? Take action now. Do you know what sets apart the successful from the average? It's the ability to rise above failure and use it as fuel for your success. Failure is not the end of the road. It's just a part of the journey. The most successful people don't avoid failure. They embrace it, learn from it, and grow stronger with each setback. Let me tell you why. Look at the story of J.K. Rowling. Before she became the author of the beloved Harry Potter series, she faced rejection after rejection. 12 publishers turned down her manuscript. Imagine how discouraging that must have been. Your life's work rejected over and over again. But J.K. Rowling didn't give up. She didn't let those rejections define her. Instead, she used them as motivation to keep going. Today, she's one of the wealthiest and most successful authors in the world. Her story proves that failure is not a defeat. It's a stepping stone to greatness. Now, think about your own life. How often have you let a setback or failure make you question your worth? Maybe you tried something and it didn't work out, or maybe you're afraid of failing, so you haven't even started. But here's the truth. Failure is not something to fear. It's something to embrace. Every failure teaches you something valuable. It shows you what doesn't work so you can try again and find a better way. The real question is, will you let failure stop you, or will you let it push you to try harder, work smarter, and rise higher? The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they respond to setbacks. When you fall, you rise again. Remember this, failure is only temporary. What matters is how you get back up. If you keep going, if you keep learning, you will achieve your goals. The people who make it are the ones who don't let failure stop them. They let it drive them forward. So if you face a setback, don't worry. It's not the end, it's just the beginning. Use it, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Success is waiting for you on the other side of every failure. Don't let it pass you by. Keep going. Have you ever found yourself hesitating, waiting for the right moment to take that leap? Maybe you've been sitting on an idea, wondering if you're ready, or waiting for the stars to align. But here's the hard truth. Waiting for the perfect moment means you might never act. The only time you can start is now. Take Oprah Winfrey, for example. Oprah faced countless obstacles growing up, poverty, abuse, and rejection. But she didn't wait for the world to hand her success. She created her own path. Oprah's first job in television was in a small local news station. The network didn't want her, but Oprah didn't let that define her. Instead, she chose to move forward, boldly. And today, she's one of the most influential women in the world. Oprah's journey shows us that success doesn't wait for the perfect conditions. It's made by those who take action despite the challenges. Now, think about your life. What's the one thing you've been putting off because you're not ready? Maybe it's starting that business, writing that book, or taking a big risk. Perfection is a myth. The only thing standing between you and success is action. Every moment you hesitate is a moment you lose, and time doesn't wait. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking you need more time, more resources, or more confidence before taking that first step. But the truth is, action creates clarity. When you start moving toward your goals, even if you feel unsure or scared, you will find the strength to keep going. The first step is always the hardest, but once you take it, the next one becomes easier. This is how you build momentum. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Start today. Even if it's just a small step, take action now. If you wait until everything is lined up, you'll be waiting forever. The only way to make your dreams a reality is to act, boldly and without hesitation. Remember, you don't need to be perfect to begin. You just need to start. Don't let doubt or fear hold you back. Take that leap and watch how the world starts to open up to you. The best time to start is now. So go ahead and make your move. Have you ever faced a moment in life when everything seemed to go wrong? Maybe you tried something new, gave it your best effort, and still, it didn't work out. The world tells us to avoid failure, to be cautious and careful. But what if I told you that failure is not your enemy? In fact, it's the key to unlocking your greatest potential. Take the story of Thomas Edison. We all know him as the genius who invented the light bulb. But did you know he failed over 1,000 times before he succeeded? Imagine that, 1,000 failed attempts. Most people would have quit after the first, maybe the 100th failure. But not Edison. He didn't see those failures as obstacles. He saw them as lessons. Each time he failed, he learned something new. In his words, I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work. His determination and refusal to give up is what led to his monumental success. Now think about your own life. How often have you faced a setback and thought it was the end of the road? Maybe you started a project that didn't turn out as you hoped, or you tried to achieve something and it fell apart. But here's the thing, setbacks are not permanent. They are temporary obstacles that test your resilience. Every time you fall, you have two choices: stay down and let it define you, or rise, learn from it, and move forward with even more determination. Remember, the greatest achievements in life don't come from avoiding failure. They come from embracing it. Each failure is a step toward success. The most successful people in the world aren't those who never fail, but those who learn, adapt, and rise every time they face a challenge. So, if you're feeling discouraged by a setback right now, know that you're not alone. Every successful person has faced their own version of failure. It's not the failure that matters, it's how you respond to it. When you rise again, when you keep pushing forward, that's when you start building momentum. Failure is not the end, it's just the beginning of something greater. Keep going. The best is yet to come, and it's waiting for you on the other side of your setbacks. Have you ever been told that you're not ready, not worthy, or that success is reserved for others? How many times have you listened to that little voice in your head saying, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this? The truth is, that voice is lying to you. Fear is not a fact, it's just a thought. And thoughts can be changed. Look at the story of Walt Disney. He was fired from a newspaper job for lacking imagination, and his first animation studio went bankrupt. Many people would have given up after that. But Walt Disney didn't listen to the doubts and failures. Instead, he doubled down on his dream. He created Disneyland, which revolutionized the entertainment industry. Walt Disney didn't let fear define his future. He used it to fuel his determination. He didn't wait for the world to tell him he was ready. He believed in his vision and took action, no matter what. Now, think about your own life. How often do you wait for the right moment to act? Maybe you're waiting to feel ready before starting that business, pursuing that dream, or making that change. Here's the secret. You don't have to wait to feel ready. The truth is, no one ever feels fully prepared. But when you take action, something amazing happens. You start to build confidence, clarity, and momentum. The most successful people in the world didn't wait for everything to be perfect before they started. They took bold action, even when they didn't know exactly what would happen. They knew that waiting for the perfect conditions would only lead to inaction, so they moved forward, even with fear in tow. So if you're waiting for that magical moment when everything aligns, stop waiting. The time to act is now. Don't let fear control your destiny. Let your actions define who you are. Every step you take, even if it's imperfect, brings you closer to your goals. Remember, the world doesn't hand you success. It's something you create with your actions, belief, and courage. What's stopping you from acting today? The only moment you have is now. Take it and start moving toward your dreams. Because when you act with boldness, the world will meet you halfway. Have you ever faced a challenge so big that it seemed impossible to overcome? Maybe you've had dreams that felt too far out of reach, or you faced situations where fear of failure made you hesitate. Let me tell you something. The only thing standing between you and your success is the fear you create in your mind. When you stop letting fear control you, that's when you start making the impossible possible. Take the story of Sylvester Stallone. He had a dream to be an actor, but life wasn't kind to him at first. He was rejected by countless agents, and when he couldn't find work, he struggled with poverty. At one point, he even sold his dog for $50 because he couldn't afford to take care of him. But Stallone never gave up on his dream. Instead of retreating in fear, he used his struggles as fuel. He wrote the script for Rocky in just 3 days, pouring his heart into it. And when he was offered $125,000 for the script, he insisted on starring in the film himself, even though he wasn't a big name at the time. That decision changed his life. Rocky became a smash hit, and Stallone's determination made him a household name. His success didn't come because he had no fear. It came because he acted in spite of it. Now, think about your own life. How many times have you hesitated because fear made you second-guess your ability to succeed? Maybe you've put off a project, avoided a decision, or stopped yourself from trying something new because you were afraid of failing. But what if failure is not the enemy? What if it's actually a part of the process? The truth is, every successful person has faced fear, doubt, and failure. What sets them apart is their ability to push through it. When you face a challenge head-on and keep going despite the fear, you start to build something incredible: resilience, strength, and unshakable belief in yourself. So don't let fear hold you back. Take that first step, even when you're scared. The road to success isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. The only way to fail is to stop trying. Keep going because the world is waiting for you to show up. not as someone who is afraid, but as someone who is bold enough to chase their dreams and make them a reality. Have you ever felt like you were meant for something bigger, but the path ahead seemed too uncertain? It's easy to get lost in doubt, thinking that success is reserved for the lucky or the chosen few. But let me tell you something. Success is not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about taking action with the courage to face uncertainty. Look at the story of Jeff Bezos. When he started Amazon in the 1990s, it was nothing more than an online bookstore in his garage. People laughed at him, questioning whether an online business could ever succeed. Bezos didn't have all the answers. He didn't know exactly how it would play out, but he had a vision, and he was willing to act on it. He took a leap of faith, investing everything he had into something he believed in, and now Amazon is one of the largest companies in the world. Bezos didn't wait for everything to be perfect. He acted on his belief, even when the outcome was uncertain. Now think about your own life. How many dreams have you left on the shelf because the path ahead wasn't clear? Maybe you've been waiting for the right moment, waiting to feel ready, or waiting for your circumstances to change. But here's the truth. You'll never feel completely ready. The key is to start. The perfect moment doesn't exist. What exists is this moment, right now. You don't need to know everything to take action. In fact, taking action is what helps you figure things out. Every step you take, even if it feels small or imperfect, brings you closer to your goal. The world won't hand you success on a silver platter. It's up to you to create it through your actions, your persistence, and your willingness to face uncertainty. So, stop waiting. The time to act is now. Whether it's starting that business, writing that book, or chasing that dream, take the first step today. You may not know exactly where the road will lead, but you'll never get anywhere if you don't start walking. Success is not about waiting for the right moment. It's about having the courage to act, even when the way forward isn't clear. Start today and watch how the path begins to unfold as you move forward with confidence and belief in yourself. And there you have it. Taking that first step is the key to unlocking your potential and turning your dreams into reality. Remember, action trumps fear every single time. Don't wait for the perfect moment because it doesn't exist. Start now and let every step you take bring you closer to your goals. If you found this video helpful and inspiring, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more motivational content just like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's one action you're going to take today to move closer to your dream? Drop it in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going. Until next time, keep moving forward and never stop believing in yourself.